Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network. Great to have you with us on the program today. As mentioned, our special guest on the show, Jared Sais. He received his degree in nonverbal communication, a focus on micro-expressions from State University of Buffalo. He studied under Dr. Mark Frank, who, along with Dr. Paul Ekman, were the inspiration for the Fox TV series Lie to Me. And Erika Nitz is the host of the upcoming TV show Passport to Love and a regular speaker at singles events. Together, they've launched the website, the nonverbalgame.com. Jared, Erika, welcome to the program. Great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
Thanks, Rick.
It's an excellent website. The website is the nonverbalgame.com. Got a book coming out as well, and they'll be back to talk about that when it comes out this summer, called The Non-Verbal Game of Flirting. Let's start by talking about some of the common mistakes that people make. And by the way, you can get some of the common mistakes, the top 3 nonverbal mistakes, at the website, the nonverbalgame.com. Let's start by talking with men. And if you're a guy and you're single and you're listening to this, or even a married guy and you couldn't figure out why it took so long to find somebody, this might shed some light on that. Mistake number 1 is forget to smile. Jared, explain what that is, and I think we're probably all guilty of that. We're spending a lot of time staring at somebody rather than trying to visually communicate with them.
Exactly. So we forget to smile and we're left with a stare. And the stare is kind of blank, and we don't know what to do. We want to communicate, but we don't know how. So we're left with a wide eyes, deer caught in the headlights stare, and girls don't know how to react.
Yeah, and Erika, how do you feel when you're sitting there and somebody is looking and you're thinking they're trying to make eye contact, and I'm going to look and I'm interested. I'll smile back. I'd have a conversation with them, and they're not really smiling. They're just locked into you. Does it turn creepy at some point?
Yeah, it gets creepy after about, 4 seconds? I think. Not even. Yeah, I actually had this one time where I was at a Bollywood bar in New York City, hanging with friends, and there was a guy there, and, I looked him up later online because he gave me his number. His credentials were good, but he had creeped me out so bad at the bar because all he did was stare, and he couldn't smile, and he never spoke to me or anything, and then he just went up to my friend, he's like, "Your friend is so beautiful." And she's like, "Dude, not going to happen."
It's like a zombie.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the voice would scare me. Forget the visual thing, but the voice right away would be a turnoff. We're talking with Jared Sais and Erika Nitz. They have the website, thenonverbalgame.com. You can go to the website and download the top 3 nonverbal mistakes men and women make while looking for love. We're talking about men, first of all. Second guessing, mistake number 2, second guessing the woman's interest.
Right.
So a lot of men will overthink the situation, putting themselves down or just not able to react. This is so common that the whole night will go through and they won't make a move. So they're sitting on the sideline the whole night saying, "What's wrong with me?" when the only thing wrong with the situation is they didn't approach any girls.
Right. I mean, as a girl, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm looking, and nothing. It's like, come on.
If you don't play, you're not going to win.
Well, and you actually break down, and let's talk about this. And Jared, with the degree, and I got to ask, I didn't realize you could get a degree in nonverbal communication and micro expressions. That's a little scary. I mean, I feel like if you could see me, you could pretty well explode the myth here. You could pretty well talk about what's going on in my mind.
Yeah, I sometimes fool around with people saying I can read their mind. And then they go, "How did you do that?" And I just go, "Oh, I have a power." But honestly, you're just reading their body language. Now, it's a focus in communication. So it's not a whole major. You have to go deeper into communication where you get nonverbal, body language, lie deception, and micro expression.
Well, and I led into that in talking about smile, that you can actually, from a smile, determine something. I mean, you'd think a smile is a smile. Okay, that's sort of a signal that there's some interest there.
Smiles.
But yeah, you can break that down and find out what type of smile it is and really figure out whether you've got a chance here at something.
Yeah, what most people want to know is fake smile versus real smile. So when you're really smiling or really showing enjoyment, you'll have crow's feet, which is just wrinkles around the eye. And you're really smiling with your full face. Fake smiles, you are limited. It's just
I can't do a fake smile now because I'm
like
too
say
happy.
cheese. It's not real.
Right.
You'll get the feeling what's fake, what's real.
Yeah, Erika, is there a point when somebody's looking and you feel like, okay, I need to respond? I guess if you have to think about smiling, it's not a natural smile.
That's true. And I mean, I can see it right away in a whole bunch of circumstances, but people are doing the things that they know are acceptable in that circumstance. So maybe there's something going on inside of them that I don't know that's causing them, you know, heartache or something, that they are not actually enjoying the situation. It could be anything, but I know that deep down, that's not really what they're feeling. And but Botox is creating issues for that too.
And there's a way around that. What I always tell people is when you think about walking, you mess up walking. Walking becomes hard. But when you're not thinking about walking, you walk fine. It's the same thing with men going up to approach women. When you start thinking about it too much, you stumble. When you just go up naturally, you're going to succeed.
You're listening to This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network, website thisweekinamerica.us. Jared Sais is our guest on the program, along with Erika Nitz. They have the website, the nonverbalgame.com. A lot of great information there. And they also are writing the book that'll be out this summer, The Non-Verbal Game of Flirting. Back to, this is mistake number 3 that guys make: don't approach correctly. And Jared, you point out that women take time to warm up.
Everybody takes time to warm up. But when a guy approaches a woman head on, she's already having a barrier. You got to approach her very wisely. You can't just run up and say, "Hi, my name is Jared." You have to approach on the side. This is key. When you approach on the side, you get more space, and then you can face the person, and you already created a personal distance. Now, if I went face to face with her, she's going to knock me back even further. So approaching on the side is key to getting into her personal space, but it's used to gauge a liking. We want to feel comfortable, and that's what it's used for.
Before we talk about the common mistakes that women make, Erika, I want to talk about that. When we start sending signals that we're interested, trying to make eye contact, we'd like to come buy you a drink, talk to you, that type of thing. How do we know that you're interested before we actually come over? What are some of the things that that women will do to say, yeah, I'm receptive?
Right. So we're going to look, but we're not going to look for long periods of time. So there's going to be a lot of glances. If you're across the room from me, and maybe I'm talking with my girlfriend, if you're across the room from me, my body language will actually be facing you while I'm talking with my girlfriend, and then I'll keep checking you out. I'll try and make excuses to be closer, to pass you a couple times, you know, take the long way to the bathroom and pass you, you know, take the long way to get a drink at the bar and pass you, and try and make eye contact. But we're a bit more subtle than the full-on stare without a smile.
Right.
What happens if I think, okay, I'm going to walk over and now I'm trying to engage you in conversation, only I've misread these signals and you really want me to keep on walking? How can I pick up on the fact that, okay, I really misread this, radar didn't work tonight, and I need to move on?
Well, you can judge a real attraction by how long they stare at you. 2 seconds or more is a very positive sign that they want to speak to you and are attracted. If it's just a glance, you want to show a glance,
right? Like
1 second or less, just move on. But
right.
We're looking for a good eye contact and positive feedback from her eyes. She's going to speak with them.
But Rick, you're asking like if I was actually eyeing up the best friend that was next to you and you came up because you thought it was you?
Yes. Yes.
What's the best way for him to get out of that, Jared?
The friend?
Well, no, if I was eyeing the best friend, but Rick came up to me because he thought it was him.
Oh, well, you'll know by the conversation. She won't lead it anywhere. She might give you an awkward look, which I hate. It's the, you know, like rolling of the eyes.
I did it right now.
Fake smile.
Right.
You know, so that's how you know that. Also, technology has given us a great equation that we use today. More phone, less interest. Less phone, more interest. So you can definitely judge if a person's interested in you by their phones.
Right.
Well, now, that's an interesting. You'll find all this at the website, the nonverbalgame.com. Our guest on the program, Jared Sais, along with Erika Nitz, book coming out, The Non-Verbal Game of Flirting, which will be out this summer. Rapidly running out of time, I want to talk about some of the mistakes that women make while looking for love. And number one, you've got down there, too much in your head. Explain that.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I could be calorie counting. I could be having a terrible day at work. I'm waiting, for example, I'll go to a bar. I'm supposed to meet my friend at the bar. I'm 15 minutes early for happy hour. I'm sitting at the bar alone. What am I doing? I'm on my phone. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do in the presentation tomorrow. I'm thinking about, how many calories did I have today? How many margaritas can I have? I mean, there's a million things going on in my head, and none of them are in the moment that I'm in. If I'm a single woman and I'm there at the bar and I'm 15 minutes early, put away the phone, wait for your friend, look around the bar and see what's going on. See if you're getting stared at with hopefully a smile.
So while you're there not paying a lot of attention, you could be missing all these opportunities. In fact, you talk about if you're going to be looking for love, the key to that is look.
Right.
Exactly.
And you won't catch it. It's such a science that when you're too much in your head, you're not observing all the things happening. You're not in the game. So you're going to miss all your opportunities for the night.
We're back to mistake number 2, which is closed off body language. So listen up on this. What are some of the signs with the body language that you send out there?
Purse on your lap is a big one, or your arms folded across your chest are two of the major ones before someone approaches you. When someone approaches you, you also automatically have your cup in front of you. It's very automatic. Men should know that is very automatic. Women aren't going to be like all gushy friendly with somebody right away to a complete stranger. But the goal is for the guy is in the conversation that cup should go from right in front of the woman to slowly to the side or down on the table. So that means that she's more open to the communication that you're having. And from a woman's perspective, that cup is a barrier. It's a guard.
You're listening to This Week in America. The nonverbalgame.com is the website. Jared Sais and Erika Nitz, a book coming out, as I mentioned. We'll have them back to talk about the nonverbal game of flirting that'll be out this summer. Mistake number 3, never separate from the group.
Right. So girls love their huddle. They go to the bathroom in groups. They stay in there. It's very, very comfortable place to be. But for a man, it's extremely intimidating. No guy is going to elbow his way through your group of best friends to come up to you. So the cute guy that you're eyeing at the bar, if you're still in your group of friends, if he doesn't have an opportunity to approach you, he's not going to.
Let's say this. It's very intimidating to go to one girl, now go to the whole group. Also, then we work on approaching. How do you approach a group? So we feel less intimidated when you're one-on-one. Best thing to do for a woman is separate from your group and get a drink at the bar. You're going to guarantee success right there.
Yeah.
How do you bring up something interesting? It's sometimes intimidating enough for guys to go up to try to make contact with one person.
Right.
And if they go up and they're like 4 or 5 and they've clung together for the entire night, how awkward is that? How can you go up and sort of break the ice and start communicating with one in the group?
Well, you know what? There's always a mother hen in the group. The one girl that will take care of the whole group. If you make friends with her, you have access to everyone.
Yeah, FYI, Rick, I'm the mother hen.
So you are the one in the group that you're sort of the organizer of the group.
I organize.
The den mother.
Yeah, I am. I make sure everybody gets home okay. I'm that person. Yep.
What happens? We got just a couple minutes left here. A fascinating topic. And the nonverbalgame.com is the website. And get all this information. Once you've established, okay, we want to communicate. I want to talk with you. You want to talk with me. How can we determine if what we're actually hearing is accurate information? How do we tell when we're asking somebody what they do that what they're telling is not a lie? How do we find out if you're married or not? How do we find out the truth?
I love this topic.
Deception.
Okay, so lying is not something our body does naturally. We don't like to lie. So we're looking for cues of anxiety, stress. We could be drinking more. We could play, if we say something and our hands go instantly up to our face, we're trying to cover up. So that's a great way. Also shrugging. If I say...
shoulder shrug.
So, yeah, shoulder shrug. So let's say, are you married? And I go, no, right? My shoulder just rose when I said no. That's an indication of I don't know. I'm not buying my own story. Also, it's the double negatives. So if I say, are you married? And you shake your head, no.
You shake your head, yes.
Yes, but your
you
head
say no.
right.
So you go, it's hard to do actually when you're not doing, you say, no, I'm not married. Is that right?
No, it's no.
No.
Yes. Well, that's my point though. It's so hard to do consciously. But so when people lie about it, it comes off very weird.
Right.
It's something very easy to spot.
Well, it's easy for you to spot.
That's true.
Well, yeah, anybody that's got a focus on micro expressions can pick this out of the crowd.
Yeah.
Lying creates stress in the body. So you're looking for the break in the stress.
Yeah, remember, their mouth might dry up, so they're going to be drinking more.
Well, I have a story for you, Rick. I was on a plane flight from London to New York City, and I was sitting next to a guy. There was actually 3 guys, all businessy, all clean cut, and I was talking with this guy for a long period of time, and then I asked him what he did. And when he told me what he did, and he was talking about his job, he just began to blink rapidly. And I was like, no, this can't be right. So I talked about something else, and then I asked him again about his work, and again he began to blink rapidly. So he was clearly lying about his work, but why that was, I didn't want to know.
Yeah, at that point, it's like, okay, let's just get on with our lives here, and you have a nice life, and I'll have one, and we'll do it separately. We're not going to go any further with this.
There's also things that people get told by, if your eyes look this way or that way, that's lying. That's the last thing you look for. You're looking for breaks of the story, things that don't add up, tone and pitch. So if you start speaking differently, that's a great sign that something's off. Now, we never want to say somebody's lying, but we want to say something's off with their story, and then in interrogation, they would ask more follow-up questions to that area that something was wrong.
Interesting. That's a definite red flag, and you need to pursue that. We, unfortunately, are out of time. I'm not lying. We are out of time. Trust me, but we're going to have them back on the program, and I'm not lying about that either. The book is called The Non-Verbal Game of Flirting. It'll be out this summer. The website where we got all this great information we've been talking about and plenty more there at the nonverbalgame.com. Jared Sais and Erika Nitz have been our guests on the program. It's been fun. Thank you so much. We will have you back on the program, and that's the truth, and we'll talk more, and we'll get into the new book, The Non-Verbal Game of Flirting. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're listening to This Week in America on the Blue Funk Broadcasting Radio Network.